Special weather bulletin Erin. Invest 99L. And an early season cold front. Good day to all our viewers following today's special weather update. We are experiencing a moment when the atmosphere over the North Atlantic and the United States is showing powerful transitions, from tropical cyclones offshore to a large-scale cold front diving southward from Canada. The central focus in recent days, and certainly in the days to come, remains Hurricane Erin, a system that once reached extreme intensity, has since weakened, but is now expanding its area of influence, impacting much of the eastern seaboard. Alongside Erin, meteorologists are also closely tracking a new disturbance in the Atlantic, designated Invest 99L, with the potential to become the next tropical storm, possibly named Fernand. And as if that were not enough, the atmosphere has another surprise in store: a strong and unusually early cold front at the end of summer, signaling an earlier than expected arrival of fall. Altogether, these developments paint a vivid, complex, and dramatic weather picture, and we will examine each element in turn to give you the full perspective. Let us begin with Hurricane Erin, the centerpiece of recent forecasts. After days of close monitoring, Erin has weakened from its peak intensity down to a Category 2 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale. The latest observations indicate maximum sustained winds near 105 miles per hour, about 169 kilometers per hour, with central pressure around 945 MB. These numbers confirm Erin is still a strong storm. However, its structure has changed significantly. Whereas Erin previously featured a sharp, well-defined eye, that feature has become more diffuse. This is due to an eye wall replacement cycle over the past several days. Combined with upper-level wind shear, the result is a storm that has lost some concentrated central strength but expanded its wind field considerably. That expansion means that even though Erin is no longer a Category 4 or 5 storm, its impacts remain severe. North Carolina's Outer Banks have endured damaging gusts and dangerous surf, with storm surge compounded by high tides posing serious risks to coastal residents. Beyond North Carolina, mid-Atlantic states have also reported rough seas and rip current threats, powerful offshore flows that can pull swimmers or small vessels far from shore. This hazard, often underestimated, is among the deadliest dangers of hurricane season. In recent days, lifeguards have already carried out hundreds of rescues related to rip currents, from Florida up through the northern coasts. Forecast models show Erin's reach will extend even further. Strong winds and heavy surf are expected to push into New England before spreading into Atlantic Canada's provinces, including Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, by the weekend. By then, Erin will likely have transitioned into a post-tropical system, losing the classic structure of a tropical cyclone. Yet this does not mean the danger will have passed. Post-tropical storms often merge with mid-latitude systems, unleashing widespread gale force winds, large seas, and days of heavy rainfall. For communities in eastern Canada, particularly those dependent on marine activities, preparation will be essential. Erin is a clear reminder of a crucial principle: maximum wind speed is not the only measure of a storm's danger. A broad Category 2 storm can sometimes inflict more damage than a compact Category 4, simply because its effects stretch across more communities and last longer. That is why experts warn against complacency when hearing that a hurricane has weakened. A lower wind category does not mean lower risk. Erin stands as clear evidence of that truth. Shifting focus, let us turn to a new feature on the weather map: Invest 99L. This designation by the U.S. National Hurricane Center is used to track disturbances with potential to develop into tropical depressions or storms. Currently situated over the central Atlantic, Invest 99L is embedded in an environment that appears favorable for development. Sea surface temperatures remain warm, between 28 and 29 degrees Celsius, providing ample fuel for convection. Mid-level moisture is abundant, and wind shear remains modest, allowing storm clouds to build vertically. Because of these conditions, many forecast models are signaling that Invest 99L could soon organize into a tropical depression, and possibly a tropical storm. If named, it would become Tropical Storm Fernand. The GFS model is especially optimistic about intensification, suggesting that 99L could strengthen into a Category 1 or even Category 2 hurricane, tracking northwestward with a potential threat to Bermuda. The European model, ECMWF, has been more conservative, with individual forecasts showing limited development. However, its ensemble system, incorporating 51 different scenarios, tells a different story. About 70% of its members predict Invest 99L will evolve into an organized tropical system. Notably, some ensemble tracks even carry the system toward Newfoundland in Canada, a region that has repeatedly been affected by recurving tropical systems in recent years. Of course, it is still too early to say with certainty whether Invest 99L will indeed become Fernand, or how strong it might get, but its emergence serves as a reminder that the Atlantic hurricane season remains in full swing. August and September are the climatological peak, when ocean heat and atmospheric conditions are most favorable. Having one powerful storm offshore and a new disturbance developing simultaneously is well within expectations for this time of year. The key is for residents to follow official updates closely, so they are not caught off guard by rapid changes. Beyond the tropics, another atmospheric development is drawing nationwide attention: an unusually strong cold front arriving in late summer. According to the U.S. National Weather Service, this front may mark a turning point, signaling that fall is arriving earlier than expected across large areas. While not unprecedented, the scale and intensity of this cooling event are remarkable. Forecast maps indicate that within just a few days, cool, dry air will surge south from Canada into the central and eastern United States. What is particularly striking is the drop in dew points, the key measure of atmospheric moisture. Levels are expected to fall into the 40s and 50s Fahrenheit, around 4 to 10 degrees Celsius. A rarity for late August. To put it simply, after weeks of hot, sticky weather, residents will suddenly feel crisp, comfortable, almost autumn-like air. Temperatures will also fall sharply. Morning lows in the Midwest and Great Lakes are forecast to dip into the 40s and 50s Fahrenheit, 4 to 12 degrees Celsius. In northern states like Minnesota, Wisconsin, and parts of Michigan, readings could sink even lower, producing a distinctly fall-like chill. For many households, that could mean pulling out jackets again, or even briefly turning on heating systems in the early mornings. Unlike some brief cold snaps, this one may persist for several days. A strong, stable high-pressure system will prevent warm, humid Gulf air from surging back north, allowing the cool, dry conditions to linger. For those who love autumn, it will feel like an unexpected gift. On social media, many are already expressing excitement about enjoying hot drinks, crisp skies, and even seasonal favorites like pumpkin spice lattes. One anchor even joked that while they personally don't enjoy that particular flavor, simply mentioning it makes it feel like summer is ending and fall is knocking at the door. Still, the scientific implications deserve attention. Farmers across the Midwest will need to take precautions, as unusually cool temperatures could stress late summer crops. Meanwhile, sudden changes can also affect public health. The elderly and children are especially vulnerable to respiratory issues when temperatures swing quickly. For that reason, health authorities are urging communities to prepare, keeping warm as needed and avoiding sudden exposure to the chill. While the North and East prepare for the cool down, the western United States continues to face extreme heat. States such as California, Nevada, and Arizona are enduring temperatures well above seasonal averages, with wildfire danger elevated. In the Southwest, the North American monsoon is producing scattered thunderstorms. These storms bring bursts of rain, but also the hazards of flash floods and landslides. By contrast, the Southeast is relatively calm, though still dealing with high surf and tidal impacts from Hurricane Erin offshore. Many beaches have raised red flags to warn swimmers, and local officials remind residents that rip currents can remain deadly even under sunny skies. Taken together, this week's U.S. weather presents a rare mix: a powerful offshore hurricane expanding its reach, a new disturbance brewing in the central Atlantic, and an early season cold front sweeping across the heartland. Such convergence underscores the importance of forecasting and preparedness. As we close today's broadcast, we extend our sincere thanks to all viewers for your continued trust and attention. The summer has been marked by record heat waves and powerful storms. And it has been our honor to bring you timely, accurate updates. Our team will continue tracking Hurricane Erin as it pushes northward, monitoring the evolution of Invest 99L, and reporting on the southward plunge of this unusual cold front. Should conditions change significantly, we will deliver immediate updates so that you remain fully informed. We wish you a safe, peaceful, and energetic day ahead. Be prepared for nature's shifts, from pounding waves offshore to chilly mornings on land. And always remember, the atmosphere follows its own rhythm. Our task is to stay informed and adapt. We look forward to seeing you in the next bulletin.